Good morning, YouTube. It's me, Justin, February 25th, 2018. I want to touch on a couple topics today. A video that I come across yesterday, which I found was highly disturbing and very unpatriotic, so to speak. The Domestic Terrorist or Terrorism Act of 2018, a bill that's pretty much written out to become law. I'm going to go ahead and show different clips that will better explain this law that's soon to be passed. If the American people just close their ears and do nothing about it to stand up and resist, right, the White House. I honestly, at this point right now, I'm still doing more research into it on what efforts could be made to put a halt to this bill. But basically, it's a bill that deems anybody with any kind of extreme ideologies. It even explains that, like, if you believe in FEMA camps, or you've talked about the New World Order, any truther channels, Patriots, law-abiding gun owners can be basically deemed as a enemy combatant and taken off the streets without due process. Anyways, this is something that is very eye-opening, something that's coming down the pipeline very soon that mainstream media is not talking about. And I urge, once this video, when I get it done and it's edited properly, if it's something you're concerned about, that I urge you to actually share this video on any kind of social media platform that you're able to, if you're not too scared. And I urge people not to be scared. You know, with all the censorship going on, it's hard. I don't even know if this video will make it to, 50 views, because YouTube censorship has come down even in the last week extremely hard on any YouTube channels. So they pretty much throw videos like this way out in the shadows for people not to find. But anyways, and I'm going to talk about gun control and the Trump administration possibly confiscating guns to who they deem a danger. So when it comes to that, where do you draw the line of who you consider a danger? And basically the Chinese urging President Trump and the establishment to disarm American people. So anyways, like I said, I'm going to do this via different clips of other channels so they can better explain it. And to forewarn you, some of the one video, the audio's pretty low, so I'll have to turn the TV up quite loud for you to hear. But anyways, sit back, educate yourself, and this is something that is no joke, needs to be addressed, and people need to be woke up quickly. And share this video, or share the links on your Facebook, Twitter, whatever, what have you. So anyways, check these out.
Well, it's coming up for a final vote, and all parties are saying that they're going to pass it. And basically what the Domestic Terrorist Act of 2018 says is that they basically want to criminalize people with extremist ideologies. They want to be able to declare you to be a domestic terrorist. Now, this is a setup. First of all, the term extremist ideology is highly subjective because in the bill, they do not define it. They don't tell you what extremism means. If they said things like, well, people that would release sarin gas attacks on a major population center, I would agree, that's extreme, and that should be dealt with. But they're just saying anything. So we're kind of down to the YouTube, Twitter, Facebook censorship mentality, that if we don't like something you say, we're going to say it's extremist and we're going to ban it. But in this case, it'll be worse than banning, because this domestic terrorist bill will lead into the NDAA. So if they say you're an extremist terrorist, then you are subject to being declared an enemy combatant, and you can be seized off the street without due process. And this is how they will get people into the FEMA camps. And I want to just kind of lay this out, Lisa, where this is going. This Domestic Terrorist Act is just a piece of the overall tyranny. The first thing we're seeing in this country right now is an evisceration of the First Amendment. All we have to do is look at social media and regular media to see the truth behind that. In fact, actually, 100 professors came out at the University of Chicago 2 days ago and said, we don't want Steve Bannon on campus, we're banning all people that are conservative. That's an attack on the First Amendment. It's rampant across the country. And the first thing you got to do before you overthrow a republic like ours is you want to install totalitarianism, you have to do away with the First Amendment. And that also includes freedom of religion. That's coming too. The second thing you have to do is to get rid of the guns. And what good way to get rid of the guns than to engage in false flag attacks like the Aurora Batman situation, most recently the Florida shooting, which we all know is a false flag, and then they have an excuse to come after your guns. So they want to shut you up so you can't organize against the tyranny. Then they want to seize your guns so the people can't collectively defend themselves. And now they have this terrorist bill coming in, which basically says, well, we can now snatch you off the street because you have extremist ideologies, and we're declaring you to be an enemy combatant. Hello, welcome to your FEMA camp.
It's a what?
It's going to pass. I said it's a French term. Fait accompli means it's a done deal.
Oh, God, yeah, okay. So that's horrible. I mean, it kind of reminds me, I guess, of what Janet Napolitano put out, the right-wing extremist document. I think that was 20... yeah, what year was it? I don't remember what year.
2008.
2008, yeah. And this particular thing, she specifically targeted right-wing extremism as if you believed in the New World Order, if you were pro-life or against abortion, if you had, I would say, kind of, that goes along with Christian values. And if you were a gun owner, I mean, all these things were labeled, which would be, the epitome of your conservative Christian, just a perfect picture. And those were things as signs and calls for, or if you believed in FEMA camps, that was in there too, then you could be considered a right-wing extremist and thereby defined as a terrorist, which that one did further define it the right side, but it's not even a legit assessment. I mean, I know hundreds, if not thousands, probably, of people who believe in a lot of that, and not a single one are terrorists.
The way you criminalize being a patriot, and it's kind of a 10-year updated version of the MEAC report. But see, Lisa, when the MEAC report was passed, there was no NDAA to snatch you off the street. Now, under Obama, the NDAA came in, I believe, in 2011, and under Obama, then they declared that you could be called a combatant and you could be snatched without due process to a lawyer. They could kill you, no one would know. They could hold you in a hole, no one would know. And that's the difference between then and now. This is really bad.
So basically, if this law passes, which it looks to be that it is going to pass if people remain silent, this is basically a way to round up patriots, truthers, Christians, etc. And it's treasonous, so to speak. And I just wanted to bring this to everybody's attention. And now I'm going to focus on these new possible gun regulations and a little word from China. Why does China want to disarm America so bad? Why are they sticking their nose in and pretty much demanding our government disarm American people? So, and this isn't conspiracy. It's all documented. It's government documentation. So for all you trolls that are going to say, "Oh, you guys are just nuts," this and that, no, it's documented. It's real. It's unclassified now, but was once classified. No telling what classified information they have out now. So check these out.
We now have the White House considering confiscating guns from quote-unquote dangerous people. Now, on the surface, people that just glance at this could say, "Oh, okay." What most are failing to see by just glancing at it and not looking deeper into it is that this sets the stage for something terrible down the road. If they're allowed to deem anyone that they so choose as dangerous, let's just say corrupt evil powers take full control by paying off and hijacking the upper echelons of all the branches of the government and alphabet gangs. And they turn and they look at all patriots in this country and say that they're dangerous people. Because they're patriots.
Have you seen the news headlines? I can scarcely believe my eyes, and for the second time in a little over a year, China has come out and told the United States they need to seize guns. They need to control editorial content. How many of you would like to become part of the Chinese society, their one-child policy, murdering female babies, executing Christians for their beliefs? Hey, let's call it what it is, folks, because this is the China that's there. They might put on the pretty face and wear the Western suits and stand when we play the national anthem, but you know what? At the bottom of the barrel here lies China. It's a despotic nation with a despotic government, communist Chinese, who have a history of murdering 60 million of their own people, and they presume to tell the United States how to conduct our internal affairs? What would possibly motivate them to tell us to seize the guns of our citizens? Why would they even care? Question mark. Answer. If you believe, as many of us do, and we've produced documents that show this is a real possibility, and President Obama agreed to this, in times of civil unrest, UN peacekeepers, i.e. Chinese and whoever else, can come on American soil and, quote, restore order, unquote, martial law, detention camps, and typical Chinese justice. That's why. They don't want to deal with the 300 million handguns if they're becoming an occupation force under the UN flag. And you go, Dave, really, where'd this come from? Go to thecommonsenseshow.com search engine. Look at the documents that are there. Look at the documents signed by then Secretary of State John Kerry, President Barack Obama, what the UN says, the UN Declaration towards guns and small arms. It's all there, folks. All there. And I, for one, am not going to stand for it.
So there you have it, people. That's just the tip of the iceberg. If you are a patriot, if you are a truther, if you are a Christian, if you are a proud American, and you have ideologies that the far left would deem radical, pretty much this law would pertain to all of you, all of us, true patriots. So it's an eye-opener. I urge people, you know, I don't want to promote my channel and all that, but I urge people to share this video to wake up more people, because this is real, very real. If you believe in FEMA camps, if you talk about the New World Order, you could be labeled an enemy combatant, a terrorist. But it's okay, you know, Obama let all the terrorists go over there in Guantanamo, and we allow all these radical Muslim over in our country, but the true Americans, the patriots, we're terrorists. Now with this bill, what they're trying to do is silence patriots and scare us into exposing the New World Order and FEMA camps. On that piece of paper is the most powerful weapon we have, truth. Anyways, fear no man, never fear death. Get right with God, fight the good fight. Let's put an end to this bill.